I've accidentally stumbled upon the most controversial topic in photography, portrait photography specifically. I didn't even know it was a thing, didn't know. But after causing much upset at an event, I now do know, and it's redonkulous. But let's go through it, because there is one particular case where it is important and does matter, but for the rest of it, it's utterly stupid. I've just moved my light a bit. It's going to be slightly wonky exposure now, just so you can see. Can you see the catch lights in my eyes? They're there. Trust me. So, catch lights. It turns out catch lights are one of these topics in internet photography that just gets people. And I've done some testing and I've done some checking and I've spoke to people and I've got some news for you all. Firstly, catch lights are not the aim. So for whatever reason, in this particular environment I found myself in recently, I was in trouble for having 2 catch lights because apparently that's not good. Apparently there's an optimal catch light. Now, if you're thinking which catch light will be best for this photograph, you have lost. Absolutely. And let me explain to you why. It's not just me going, that's just a ridiculous thing. It is a ridiculous thing, but here's the reason why. If you light for catch lights, which is something, I mean, I spoke to my agent, I spoke to the art buyers, I spoke to all these, didn't even know what I was talking about. And they're like, oh yeah, a little twinkle in the eyes, cool. By the time you're choosing your modifier and light placement because of the catch light, you've lost. The catch light is a byproduct of your lighting. It lands wherever the hell it lands. There is a case for when it is important, and we will get to that. I'm not saying it's always a poo-poo thing, just mostly. Choosing your lighting modifier based on the catch light it produces is ridiculous. You choosing your lighting position based on the catch light it produces is ridiculous. Photoshopping catch lights is ridiculous. I have spoken to many a portrait photographer, none of them care. Most of them are like, what do you mean? It is a solely internet and club photography game. And it's probably something which a camera company who makes lights at some point developed to sell it to you. Much like the 3-light setup. It's because they sell 3-light kits. It's not a thing. No photographer I know who works commercially goes, let's do a 3-light setup. We just light the scene. We don't do 3-light setups. We don't, yeah. Anyway, I digress. So, catch lights. And this has angered me disproportionately. And here's why it's angered me disproportionately. There is a reason for the anger. These people are being fed this nonsense and they're wasting their time perfecting somebody that nobody cares about at all. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this at all outside of camera clubs and weird photo societies. Having 2 catch lights, fine. Having 10 catch lights, fine. Having 1 catch light, fine. Having no catch lights, fine. You don't need a catch light to make a great image. Some people are, oh, the eyes look dead if you don't have a catch light. If they're backlit, there isn't a catch light. You know, that's how that works. If they're facing a certain way. The reason my catch light is where it is at the moment, I don't know if this is a good or a bad catch light, I don't know. But the reason is because the light has to come from here. Now the light has to come from here because we're offsetting the lights from the windows over there. I could light it all in the same direction, but I feel it makes me look a bit weird sometimes and a bit too like I've been stuck into the studio and it's green screen. So we do this just to add a bit of like reality almost. It's also here because it can't go anywhere else because I've got a wall behind it. Like there's some logistical reasons why it's here as well. I also like to have it close enough so I can reach it and should angle it like that and then ruin the lighting mid-video. So that's why it's there. That's why the catch light's here. When it does matter, when a catch light is actually relevant and when it makes a big difference, are things like this when you're wearing something where you're trying to put a catch light into it to give it oomph. I mean, to be honest, catch lights in still life work, yeah, really important, really important. It's really important for product photography, but for portraits, really? If they're wearing glasses and sunglasses, yeah, it matters. Having either a reflection or no reflection on a pair of normal glasses is a creative decision. Where the reflection lands in sunglasses can be a creative decision, but never at the expense of how the person looks. And having gone through some of these groups where they talk about this, there are some horrific portraits because they spend all their time getting the perfect catch light shape and placement, and the person looks like anyway. So there is the time when you do it. And yes, we spend ages carefully moving it on a still life product shot when we've got 15 lights up and 30 C stands and it's all bob on. That's an important time to have the catchlight there. But when you're working with humans, that is not the time. That is not the time nor place. The catchlight is a byproduct of how you've lit the person to make them look the way you want them to look. Good or bad, that's what it is.